Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Manta Trends webcast. My name is Ivy Lamb, and I'll be your host for today's event, Growth and Taxes Expand into E-Commerce. We're happy to have you with us today, and we hope you'll tweet about today's event using the hashtag MantaTrends. We'd also like to thank Avalara for sponsoring today's event. Before we get started, I want to cover some important housekeeping items about today's event. During the webcast, you should see a slide area, which will allow you to view the webcast. On the top of the slide area are 3 tabs: Ask Question, Attachments, and Rate This. Click on the Ask a Question tab to ask a question at any time during the webcast. We'll do our best to respond during the Q&A at the end of the event. If you're having technical difficulties, please email webinarhelp@manta.com. My colleague Graham is on hand answering your technical questions, so just send him a note. Now, on to today's topic. In this webcast, we'll be covering some best practices for small businesses looking to expand into e-commerce, including how to choose the right shopping cart for your business, ensuring security, setting up an easy-to-navigate website, streamlining the checkout process, and how to manage the sales tax implications of selling products online. Our guest expert today is Sam Bedford. Prior to joining Avalara, where he currently helps businesses manage sales tax, Sam worked with businesses to manage and optimize e-commerce sales across multiple online channels. Thank you so much for joining us today, Sam.
Thanks, Ivy. And for those of you who were unable to join last week, over the last few years, I've been working with companies similar to many of yours who are looking to expand their current e-commerce presence, expand their market to e-commerce and are new to e-commerce, and a number of businesses who are looking to move from traditional wholesale business to business to a direct-to-consumer market through e-commerce. So some of the things that I want to focus on today are the benefits of building and growing your e-commerce presence. Nearly 70% of Americans shop online in some capacity, making it easier for companies like you to reach a larger market. You can operate your business from anywhere through e-commerce and scale to unbelievable heights. Versus traditional brick and mortar retail, e-commerce allows you to be open for business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. E-commerce is more measurable than other sales approaches and less time intensive for you to run. Not only can you make changes on the fly, market special online sales, create repeat business through promotions, but oftentimes you can gain higher margins and better cash flow through less overhead and overall cost. E-commerce in many cases costs less to set up than an offline business by reducing rent, utilities, property tax, and insurance. So on to your shopping cart. There are a plethora of e-commerce shopping carts to choose from, and picking the right one can be overwhelming. The areas you need to understand prior to committing to a shopping cart are functionality, integration, customization, budget, and design. All of these factor into the right shopping cart for you. And so some things for you to think about are stock size. How many products are you selling, and how can the cart you are considering handle your stock size? There's also no reason to overpay for a cart that handles 100 times your stock size. Also, a few things to think about are digital and physical. Are you selling tangible personal property or digital goods, or a mix of both? Ensure that your cart can handle what types of products you're selling, but also understand that you may not need to pay for a cart that can handle products that you aren't selling. Payment method is another big factor into choosing a shopping cart. Does the shopping cart have its own payment processing capability? If so, will that work with your current systems for accounting and your general ledger? If it does not offer a payment processing function, does it work with your current payment processor, or will it work with a payment processor that you're considering? Always think about what systems you're going to be utilizing and how they're going to fit into the new shopping cart. Another area that's often overlooked is self-hosted versus hosted. If you have a highly customizable site that you're going to be making constant changes and maintenance to, you may need to look into a platform that is self-hosted. Also, if you simply need an out-of-the-box shopping cart with limited customization and you have the internal resources, maybe hosting that site internally can help keep you within your budget. Along with your budget, your payment plan. Many shopping carts offer monthly payment options that help you retain the needed capital while you're starting up this new e-commerce platform. Also, maybe you have the capital to invest and they can offer cost savings up front if you're able to pay at an annual rate. On the last piece with design, go back and research sites that you frequently buy from online. What do you like about those sites? What do you dislike about those sites? This is a great way and a free way to gain ideas about how you want your site to look and how you want to go about designing that site. As I move forward here, I just want to remind you all to utilize the questions box there on the right-hand side for Ivy and I to address at the end of the presentation. The next piece I want to talk about is security. This is something that many of you may not be familiar with and is an area that you do need to focus on. So the HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. This is the protocol over which data is sent between the browser and the website or your shopping cart that's connected to that browser. The S stands for secure, as I mentioned, and at a high level, this means all communications between the browser and your e-commerce shopping cart are encrypted. For SSL digital certificates, they are small data files that are digitally binded. What that means is an organization's details are then tied to the web server. How that affects the security of the business when installed on a web server is it activates the padlock and the HTTPS protocol. It allows secure connections from a web server to a browser. Typically, SSL is used to secure credit card transactions, data transfer, and logins, and more recently is becoming the norm when securing browsing of social media sites. So depending on your business, your customers, and your products and services, you may need to even look into a third-party hosting service. Oftentimes, if you have higher security requirements and you do not have those internal resources, you can find those through a third-party hosting service. In short, be aware of what levels of security you need. High-level security is important, but also an area where you can easily overspend and exceed your budget. The next area I want to focus on is navigating your website. So navigating your website is huge for building buyer confidence and creating customer retention. Intuitive menus allow your customers to easily find what they are looking for. If a customer has to look for more than 30 seconds for something, they are likely to go to another site to purchase. Also, mobile-friendly and apps are huge in the market today. With everyone having smartphones, you'll miss out on a huge opportunity with your customers if your site does not format to these smartphones and tablets. Also, many shopping carts available have the ability to create an app within that shopping cart as an add-on. Apps are a great way to create customer retention. It's making them that much easier to come back to you when they're looking to purchase again. So another statistic that I've run across a number of times is most online shoppers research while they're on the go. They see something they like and then they go to their smartphone or mobile device and search for it. If you're not there, they're not going to find you. If your site does not format to these devices, making it very hard to navigate through, you're missing the mark altogether. Also important are photos. So the reason photos are very important is because if you have poor photos, you're losing your customers' confidence in purchasing what they're looking for. Having accurate and easy to see and identify different aspects of your products ensures that they know exactly what they're purchasing and it's exactly what they're looking for. I always recommend a white, clean background. It's a proven way to ensure that your customers are seeing exactly what they are looking for. Don't make the backgrounds busy and don't make too much interaction with the photos. Zoom capability is very important, and for some items like clothing and apparel, it's a great feature to look into having 360 rotation abilities. Some shopping carts provide that, others on the lower end may not. Also, for the descriptions, you need to outline what the product or service is, not tell the entire story of the product. So be concise, but don't leave out details that will help you sell your products. So on to the checkout. Checkout is the final stage in ensuring a positive customer experience, and also an area where many new e-commerce sellers drop the ball. Multiple shipping options allow you to ensure you meet the needs of your customers, whether that be saving money or getting the products the very next day if they need it right away. Also, single-page checkout is a great way to streamline the checkout process before your customers get frustrated or feel buyer's remorse. Think of one-click checkout with Amazon. The last thing you want to do is get a buyer ready to purchase, then frustrate them with a lengthy, complex checkout. All of this flows to accuracy and speed. The easier your shopping cart makes it to purchase, the less abandoned carts you will have. And for the last area that I want to cover is a major area where new e-commerce retailers lack understanding of the implications of selling online in regards to sales tax. There are many ways to get your product to your customers sooner, whether that's utilizing marketplaces like Amazon and eBay, who offer fulfillment by Amazon, or third-party logistics companies who are a great way to get your products spread out across the country and closer to your customers. Some of the things many retailers don't understand is that owning product outside of their home state in another state, in many cases, is a nexus creating activity, then requiring them to get registered and start collecting and remitting sales tax. Also, many traditional B2B wholesale companies who have 1099 and W-2 sales reps who have traveled all over the country to generate sales on the wholesale side can also create nexus in most states. Now, when they move into e-commerce, they need to start collecting and remitting sales tax anywhere those reps have created that nexus. Another area that many businesses aren't aware of is the difference between simply using zip code lookups and address level accuracy. So there's 12,000 plus taxing jurisdictions in the United States. In many states, the taxing jurisdictions do not follow the zip code boundaries. There can be 3 and sometimes 4 taxing jurisdictions within one zip code. Ensuring that you have the proper sales tax calculation in place reduces your exposure and reduces your risk during the case of an audit. Also, your product and service taxability. Some products and services are fully taxable in some states, while in others, they may be non-taxable or exempt from tax. And even further, in other states, they may be partially taxable. Having a system in place that can ensure you're calculating sales tax for your specific products and services accurately is a major area where many new e-commerce retailers fall short. So that's all I have. I hope you have a few questions, and I'm going to turn things back over to Ivy to address our questions from the audience.
Thank you so much, Sam. We're actually running a little bit over our time, so I don't know if we have enough time today to get to our Q&A session, but I want to thank everyone so much for attending. Thank you, Sam, for speaking, and thank you, Avalara, for sponsoring this webcast.